name is LoeyLane, and I'm so excited to tell you guys about my new podcast, Internet Urban Legends, with my BFF Snitchery.
We deep dive into the darkest corners of the internet to uncover whether some of the most notorious web myths are hoax or whether they're con. Internet Urban Legends, available exclusively on Spotify.
Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, hello. My name is Loey. Before we even get into today's video, I wanted to say thank you guys very much for being so nice on my last video where I was kind of opening up about my mental health and why I've been sort of MIA on YouTube recently. If you didn't watch that video, don't worry about it. I am in a slightly better place than I was then, I think, maybe, sort of. We're still going through it. We're still going through it, and that's okay. And I appreciate those of you who were so incredibly nice to me. So what better way to come back to making normal videos again than with single-handedly the darkest topic I think I've ever talked about. You guys may or may not be familiar with Robert Helpmann's channel. It's had a bit of a resurgence of popularity due to TikTok, kind of like making what is old go viral once more. And on top of that, it's a really viral series with millions of views in its own right. So we're going to be talking about all of that today. And once you're done, you'll have a fascinating tale to share with family and friends over holiday dinner. Little did I know before I started really researching this story, it's very largely themed around Christmas. So I'm here, I'm in my festive little Christmas sweater, I'm ready to go. Before we get started with today's video, it is in fact sponsored by LoeyLane. What is LoeyLane, you ask? It is your new solution to sustainable cleaning products at home. Sometimes on trash day, I'm really horrified with myself that I, as a single woman living alone with my 10 animals, somehow managed to produce the amount of waste that I do. And I've really been looking for ways in my life to cut back on waste or just to reduce it in some capacity. And something I talked about in my last video was how much cleaning has been kind of therapeutic for me, how much I enjoy cleaning, how much I like having a cleaning routine. However, with doing that, there is tons of product and waste. The amount of single-use plastic bottles that I was throwing away after finishing up a cleaning product was awful, and I knew that I needed to change. And that's where our sponsor LoeyLane comes into play. They believe you can have it all in your cleaning products at home. Sustainability, affordability, made from all natural products, and something that works really, really well. Now, you might be wondering why I'm holding up this little packet. Unlike traditional cleaning products that are sold in plastic bottles, LoeyLane's products come in the form of these tiny little nickel-sized tablets. LoeyLane uses zero single-use plastic in any of the creation or shipping of their products. Their products are also free of ammonia, VOC, soy and nuts, chlorine bleach, and parabens. LoeyLane is also EPA certified, which means that all the ingredients in the products are safe. I got the Clean Essentials kit, and what came in it were 4 bottles, one for multi-purpose cleaning, one for bathroom, one for glass, and one for hand soap, as well as the tablets for each. So if you want to try LoeyLane, I highly recommend a kit because you already get like a 20% savings, plus you know your girl is always here with a deal, and I have an additional code for 20% off in addition to the 20% you already saved. So use my link down below to get an additional 20% off of your very first LoeyLane cleaning kit. They never run promotions like this, so this is a really good deal, and just in time for the holidays too. I think it's a really giftable thing that makes you feel good about what you're giving to somebody. Sustainable cleaning with safe and clean ingredients is something I think we can all get behind. And they're now shipping to the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So go ahead and get your shop on. Thanks to LoeyLane for sponsoring today's video. And now let's finally talk about the body on YouTube. Don't mind me sipping a bit of wine out of my Animal Crossing cup because I feel like I need a little bit of something for this. Something I found really interesting since TikTok in particular came out is how content will resurface and almost get a second life through short form videos. And I think it's really extending across all platforms like we see now on Instagram Reels, even YouTube has YouTube Shorts. So maybe you've heard of this before. Maybe you watched the videos when they originally came out in 2015. Maybe you stumbled across them by accident one late night, or maybe you are hearing about them for the very first time in this video. No matter what the case is, I'm here to shed a little bit of light on the story of the Robert Helpmann YouTube channel, which began uploading in July of 2015. Now, a lot of my information comes from my very good friend Jamie, Inside of Mind here on YouTube, who did a video about 4-ish years ago, analyzing the videos, explaining a lot of things away, and I'll be referencing his content quite a bit in this video. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, due to probably like stricter YouTube rules and regulations, what was originally 12 videos has now dwindled down to 10 on the Robert Helpmann account. So I'm missing a bit of content here, but I don't think that the story is lost in any way. And I say story, and I say unfortunately this has been taken down because I do not in any capacity believe this is a real dead body on YouTube. If I did think that, I would never show it here on this channel, nor would I ever subject you to something like that, period. But if I were, for some reason, I would always give a warning. That to say, it doesn't make the visuals of this series of these videos any less jarring. And it makes you wonder, why would someone create what looks like a dead body in several trash bags and put it onto YouTube to tell a story? Of course. The very first video opens up with a shot of a chair, a static shot of a chair to be exact. We can just hear the room tone and static in the background of the video here. There's no real sound. At the roughly 30-second mark, however, something comes into frame. That something being what appears to be a body bound in trash bags tied together with duct tape. The body is positioned against the chair in a way that would make it look almost like it's just lounging around. Cheery, very bubbly music begins to play here, almost as if they're welcoming this body into frame. The description box reads as follows: "Beautiful Daisy comes to stay. She was very excited." And this was spelled exited instead of excited with a C. So I wanted to note that here. I wasn't sure if it was intentional or not, but she was very excited. We're all delighted that she's here. And that is our introduction to the Robert Helpmann channel. And if that is too intense for you, I recommend you turn back now. In the video that follows, titled Daisy and Friends, we can see the body positioned up against a kitchen table here. The sound of flies buzzing can be heard in the background, almost signaling to the body's, of course, decay. So I guess that the flies are supposed to be the body's friends. I also refer to the body with her or she pronouns, and I'll start calling it Daisy from here on because it's very clear, even in just the first two videos, that this is what we're meant to call the body, that it's a woman named Daisy. Now, interestingly, at about 28 seconds into this video, if we're fast enough, we can catch a glimpse at what seems to be just a list of nonsensical words on the screen. It doesn't make much sense, but it reads as follows: "Was never church, did the door, church on, from crawled when will." We'll revisit this later on instead of trying to piece together what that could possibly mean now, as we just don't have enough information to make an educated guess yet. The description box of this video reads: "Daisy and all of her loving friends gathered for a meal to celebrate her arrival. We spent hours preparing her favorite foods. It's so nice she's here." And again, her friends probably being the flies buzzing around her body. And Daisy settles in. We can see Daisy almost propped up against like a fort of pillows. And we can hear in the background what I, at least at this point, can clearly make out to be reverse audio. This is a very common thing used in a lot of alternate reality games and unfiction series here on the internet. I feel like my ears can just like pick it up now when I can hear reverse audio. So I was pretty sure I already knew that this was reversed. Lo and behold, when reversed the correct way, it almost sounds like a Christmas broadcast or someone talking through the guise of Santa Claus in some way. They reference Prancer, the reindeer, and say things that sound like something Santa would say.
To bring gifts to the children and smiles to their faces. But before I get out and disappear soon, I'll give you a treat. It's a bit of a tune that I'll play on my chime that I've got with me here.
More on that later, but once again, we get more glimpses of nonsensical words in this video. Now, it seems that throughout this entire series, this is sort of the mark of the transition. These words will cut into frame. You will probably try to focus on them for a minute. That's what your brain does. And then when the video comes back, something has changed. And in this video, the something that has changed is a man in a suit with a burlap sack over his head, staring lovingly down at Daisy's body. I don't know if it's just me. I feel like even though you can't see his face, you can almost feel what this guy is thinking as he looks down at Daisy's body on the pillows. Alarmingly, his face slowly turns towards the camera before the video cuts out. Now the description box of this video reads, Daisy settles in for her stay with us. Unfamiliar surroundings are easier to cope with when you are with people who love and care for you. In video 4, tucking Daisy in, we can see Daisy propped up against a bed, basically as if she is laying down to go to sleep. Next to her, beneath the covers, we can see what looks like a figure breathing in and breathing out. While Daisy's body is laying motionless on this bed, it's clear that whoever it is beside her is far from dead. Again, we get another string of nonsense words, and when the video comes back, that breathing figure is gone, leaving Daisy sleeping on the bed alone by herself. Forever. Some people just never grow up, the description box reads. Even at Daisy's age, she still insists on being tucked in at night. Good night, Daisy. Sleep tight. You have a busy day ahead. Now, Daisy Feeds the Birds is the following video, featuring more reversed audio here. Again, that references Christmas.
Yes, I have a story out. That there really should have straightened your witnesses here for you to see on I go to that hair. And my lovely red robe with its trimming of white is as black as the black of a black winter's night. And it's all because I have to climb down the many long chimneys you have in this town.
When first looking through this series, after seeing Christmas referenced so heavily for a second time, I had to wonder, was this supposed to be a Christmas story in July? Was it supposed to be that she was abducted, kidnapped, killed during Christmas, and now her body is being paraded around this house like an oversized stuffed animal or something? But I'm probably getting a bit ahead of myself. When we're flashed the weird nonsense words in this video, when we return back to Daisy, there's a random gigantic key beside her. Could this be symbolism that we're getting more and more clues and keys to her story? The description box doesn't offer us much here, as it simply says that Daisy loves her feathered friends. Video 5, however, I think is where things start to take a turn for the truly sinister, as if we were not already there. It's titled Daisy's Tumble and features the body at the bottom of the stairs, as though it slipped and fell down there on its own. Of course, we know that's not possible. Someone had to have put it there or tossed it down to be as such. We hear the audio of a woman crying as the camera focuses on Daisy's still body. The crying becomes more and more intense, louder, before the man in the burlap sack and the suit returns, picks up Daisy's body, and walks away. Honestly, if you needed any proof that this body is not real, the way that that man just picked up the body, it would literally be dead weight, no pun intended. And he moves it as simply as if it was made out of cotton, without any strain or stress at all. This is not someone's actual corpse being paraded around on YouTube. But it still doesn't make the story any less bizarre. Why is someone doing this with a fake body to begin with? What is the end game here? The description box of Daisy's Tumble reads, whoops, even people as graceful as Daisy take a bad step once in a while. Don't worry, Daisy, we'll kiss it better. I think at this point it's probably also pretty important that I mention how the poster never refers to themselves with I or me or says what they're doing specifically. It's always referred to a collective with a we. We are doing this. And Daisy is doing this with us, of course suggesting that there is a collective of people behind this and that nobody is working alone. In Daisy Plays Hide and Seek, we can see Daisy positioned in a closet as though she is hiding in this game of hide and seek. There's this kind of weird looking figurine beside her. I can't get a very good look at it, so I'm not sure if it's meant to symbolize anything in particular. When we receive this video's string of jumbled words, the figure returns turned the other way, weirdly. This now lends itself to a somewhat interesting theory. Daisy, as we have seen, is bound by duct tape and trash bags throughout the making of these videos. Even if she is somehow alive in there and just perfectly still in each and every recording, she wouldn't be able to move her arms and legs in order to move items, in order to bring in the key back in her Feeding the Birds video, or to move this figurine now. Could it be that her ghost is possessing these items, or her ghost in some way is haunting the home, or is whoever is behind these videos playing a game of house and moving things around for Daisy in order to make these videos. I'm not sure that even the poster knows if it's real or pretend, as in this description box it reads, "We forgot how much fun this game is, especially with so many good hiding places in this old house. Where are you, Daisy? We'll find you." Which seems to say that Daisy is nowhere to be found, but how could that be? The body is right there in the closet, seemingly where somebody positioned it before. So it does lead me to believe that maybe the poster is referring to Daisy's spirit that could be communicating with them through their actions or even words. Speaking of words, now is probably as good of a time as any to talk about the jumbled words. And when I first saw these, I had no idea what they could mean. Since we're still missing 2 out of the original 12 videos that were posted, I don't actually know if I have every piece of the puzzle, so I'm just going to tell you what they mean here. Over the course of these videos, if you lined up each and every image with the words on it and sort of meshed them all together, you receive a poem. The poem is called The Gay Lady and refers to a woman who comes across a dead body and in absolute horror asks the pastor of her church, "Is that what I'll look like when I'm dead?" To which he's like, yeah. It reads as follows. "There was a lady all skin and bone. Sure such a lady was never known. It happened upon a certain day. This lady went to the church to pray. When she came to the church stile, there she did rest a little while. When she came to the churchyard, there the bells so loud she heard. When she came to the church door, she stopped to rest a little more. When she came to the church within, the parson prayed 'gainst pride and sin. On looking up and looking down, she saw a dead man on the ground, and from his nose unto his chin the worms crawled out, the worms crawled in. Then she unto the parson said, 'Shall I be so when I am dead?' 'Oh yes, the parson said, 'you will be so when you are dead.' Here the lady screams." I learned this once again through Inside a Mind's channel, which was instrumental in helping me put together the puzzle pieces of Robert Helpmann's channel. Not just with the 2 missing videos, but just in general. His analysis was deep and amazing. He really went to great lengths to solve this mystery as best he could. I'll have it linked down below because Jamie actually has a really fascinating theory about how this entire series is an allegory for the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to touch a bit on that at the end, but I don't want to take his entire theory word for word, so I'll have it linked below. But once he starts talking about it, you realize that this entire thing is probably just a very, very, very dark image of Christmas time. The excitement and joy when it arrives, much like Daisy arrived in that first video, playing each day to your heart's content through games like hide and seek or feeding the animals, and then the sorrow and the loneliness and maybe even the anger when it eventually leaves. However, we still have a few more videos to go through, so I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. So back to the videos. We now have Daisy playing, in which Daisy can be seen like suspended in mid-air, almost as if she's like on a swing set. I actually can't see what she's attached to, but the poster does reference a swing set in the comments section. It's actually very interesting. I don't know how they got this thing to just stick to a wall. Cheery music plays in the background to this visual of Daisy suspended in midair until our words that we now know are part of this poem appear on screen. When it returns, we see the man in the suit and the burlap sack standing next to Daisy, knife in hand. I already don't have much hope of this video staying monetized, I'm gonna be very honest with you, but I don't want to push my luck more than I already have, so I'm not gonna show this part, but for some reason, the man in the suit takes his knife and begins to stab Daisy repeatedly, despite us being fairly certain that she's already dead. This is a really confusing part to this story. I can't quite see what it's supposed to symbolize, and the description box adds next to no clarity. We never thought the old, overgrown swing set would be used again, but Daisy cleared it off and has been on it all afternoon. So nice to see. In Daisy Makes a Mess, we can hear the flies buzzing much louder than before. And judging by the title and what winds up happening, we can assume that the decay of the body is just getting more and more intense, reminding us of Daisy's mortality and of the decay that surely must be setting in. The man in the suit and the sack appears again. He lowers Daisy's body onto the kitchen counters and everything, and strangely begins to like undo the tape on her. as though he's like unwrapping a gift. But also with the title and with the sound of the flies and stuff, maybe it's meant to say that Daisy's decay is getting so bad, he has to patch her back up again, so to speak, as she has made a mess with her own mortality, so to speak. What other thing can I say here? It's a dead body. I'm sure things have got to be getting gross. Tisk tisk, Daisy, the description box here reads. Don't worry, we'll get it cleaned up. And with that, we've reached our very last video, titled simply Daisy Leaves. The cheery music that we heard in the very beginning of this series when we saw and met Daisy for the very first time plays in this video, as we see Daisy's body on the floor next to the door of the house. The door opens and suddenly she's gone. The music stops and an uncomfortable silence fills its place. After a beat, the man in the suit appears again, a knife still in his hand, and he's shaking with some kind of emotion. Is it anger? Is it sadness? We don't really know, as after staring out the window for only a moment, he turns away and the video ends. This is what the description box says. No, 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 no. She left us and now there is no Daisy, no Daisy. Daisy, 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 we want Daisy back. Bring us back Daisy, we need her here. She should be here, always here. And that's it. That's the Robert Helpmann channel as it has stood for the last several years. Every single one of these videos was posted within the span of 1 hour. I think I said that earlier, but if I didn't, this is something I learned from Inside of Mine's channel. Every single one of them was posted within the same hour on the very same day and never updated again. Some of you may have asked yourselves, or even me in the comment section already, who is Robert Helpmann? Is that the name of the ARG creator? Is it the name of the supposed killer in the story? Could it be a codename of sorts? On the contrary, Robert Helpmann is the name of a celebrated actor, ballet dancer, director, and many, many other things under his belt that was mostly active between the 1920s and the late 1980s. So why is someone using his name for this YouTube channel, spelled exactly the way that he spells it? Well, Robert Helpmann was known for playing lots of villains in movies, and weirdly enough, the devil many, many different times. But weirdly, and this is something that Jamie completely came up with, and it's his theory, and I don't take credit for this, it's possible that the entire reason that this channel was named after him was due to his role in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, which is kind of like a Christmas time movie. There's some other interesting things from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang specifically, including the scrumptious family, which is also a word used in this entire story, that ties everything together, but just further proves that this is just one massive allegory for the 12 days of Christmas. Happy holidays, I guess? When I started researching for this video, I in no capacity thought this was going to be a Christmas story, but once I realized that there were so many ties into Christmas, I decided I had to wait to post it until Christmas was right around the corner. What do you guys think here? I think this is fascinating and such an interesting mode of storytelling for potentially, if we're on the right track here, if it's all one big illustration of Christmas, which again, there's so much that backs this up, including but not limited to that a lot of the reverse audio that we heard throughout this was from an old 20s recording of Santa is Inside Your Phonograph, which was like a gift to children in the 20s that would play where Santa was like, I'm in your phonograph, hello, and he would have a conversation with these kids basically. It was like storytelling. Anyway, if we're on the right track here, the fact that somebody used a fake dead body to illustrate the joy and sadness of the 12 days of Christmas, kind of crazy, but very creative. Let me know what you guys think of this down below. Do you have an alternate theory of the Robert Helpmann story? Do you think something other than what I said here today? Was this the first time you'd ever heard of it? Let me know down below, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. I want to say a huge thank you to my subscriber Nina for being a member of this channel. Don't forget that if you want to join my YouTube channel memberships, get one extra members exclusive video every single month, as well as other members exclusive perks. You can join by hitting the little join button somewhere around the screen. We would love to have you. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!